What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and the damn crickets and everything else out there are loud as hell. Just got home. I had quite a drive home. Did not even turn the lights on, anything right. This is all just a complete mess. But I just wanted to get on here real quick and let you know, go Birds! Eagles get themselves one last final victory in the preseason. Now, wins and losses do not matter in the preseason, ladies and gentlemen. But it's always good to get a win, right? And look, we had a lot of questions. We knew this would be a sloppy game. Probably wouldn't get a lot of things that we wanted. We don't get to see it all, from the all-22 perspective when we're watching the game. So we saw some things. We're going to talk about those. We talked about the battles. But tomorrow we're going to talk about it a little more extensively when I give you my projected 53-man roster. So we'll go through that. But here tonight, just wanted to say what's up. Little post-game show for you. I thought, overall, McCord, he would start to get things going. People would drop a stupid penalty. Something like that would happen. He had some horrible throws. I think at this point I'm kind of feeling like we just keep two, put one of those guys on the practice squad or some random dude off the streets on the practice squad. I think that might be the move. Montreal Johnson, hopeful that he can make the practice squad. I think another team would grab him, though. I think the kid's a stud. But receiver, I was hoping, Cooks had some catches here. Terrace Marshall had a bunch, but nothing really stood out. Nye Smith looked like ass today. He didn't really get to see much. I think Darius Cooper might make this squad over Nye Smith, but at this point, maybe both of them make it now because Johnny Wilson's hurt. But we traded for John Matisse, so who knows? But offensive line, I continue to think the ones we drafted suck. Holland Pierce, I would maybe just try to see what the kids got. I still think it should be Pryor, Kennard, obviously Kendall, and then maybe Keegan, Toth. We'll see. Defense, that cornerback spot, I'm just praying to the football gods that Ja'Cory Bennett is the answer there. If not, they go sign someone, trade someone. I'm fine with it. 13 days to figure it out. But that's the one question mark, that I really is glaring. Everything else is just so good, and look, Adore didn't play. Kaylee didn't play. If one of them's starting, okay, we'll just pray to God that they figure it out. Yeah, I'll be rooting for them either way, whoever it is. But, hey, it's preseason. They know a lot more than us what's going on in practice behind closed doors. There's joint practices. So they know how they feel, whatever they want to do, no doubt. But everything else, I think we pretty much, we can take a look, at my depth charts then. But I really feel everything we talked about before this game, leading up to it or just today, I still feel pretty confident in everything I said. I kind of think that that's how the roster is going to play out. You'll see tomorrow on my 53. But if you've been listening, you know exactly how I feel about this team. Appreciate you tuning in, Tiffany. Let's effing go Birds. And Tim, I'm going to have to watch out. You guys have the same picture there. But glad to see you're awake, my man. And go Birds, of course. A little flyover action. Appreciate you tuning in, my friend. Well, they definitely don't, but they could. We'll see what they decide to do. A lot of polishing, but I agree when I keep... Yeah, and I was talking to my pop about that. You hope one of these guys proves himself and you're like, okay, good. But now you're kind of in a good problem that you don't have a third guy. You can just release both of them on the 53-man cut down and hope one of them makes it to the practice squad. If not, I'm sure they got a list of 10 dudes that somebody's going to get cut and they could add. So you kind of free up a roster spot there. And I think McCord, he had a good enough college career that someone could pluck him away from you, but I don't think he's that great that you got to worry about it. So, we'll see how that goes down. But for me, exactly what I just said there, that you're repeating, I don't see a point when you can have that emergency quarterback. So, and yeah, man, any game is a fun game for me if it's Eagles. You just have to understand the context of it. You can't get worked up that it's boring and, backups because that's literally what preseason is. You know what I mean? So I always find it, except me and my pop pumped up, high-fiving, getting excited. We're ready, man. 13 days. 13 effing days. So, yeah. Yeah, they're not going to stop doing what they always do. The roster cut downs are coming Tuesday, so you'll see additions and people being gone. That's not going to change. They're going to still do that this year. And this team, again, as I keep repeating over and over these past few weeks, they know what they're doing. They know what they see, and if they want to add something somewhere, they will. If they don't feel they need to, they won't. Nothing we can do about that. We talked all offseason about what should be done. They went and traded for Ja'Cory and Bennett, and I've talked about it. He's got starting caliber talent, and I think we just got to learn the system first. So no matter who you add, they got to learn the system. So let's give them some time before we're already we need more people, more. I think we should find out what we have in Bennett. But, I've talked about Stephon Gilmore's out there. Maybe you want to add a veteran presence. There's so many options here. I just don't think my option for me is freaking out. Season's over, all that shit the media is pushing. I do not agree with that at all. I still think we're the best team in the NFL. And I think we're going back-to-back here, regardless of Adoree Jackson or Kaylee Ringo being the cornerback too. Hope it's Ja'Cory and Bennett. But, it all begins in 13 days. And, everybody wanted to tell me last year how we didn't have this or we needed to trade Hurts or everybody sucked. And I remember that. And I remember telling you then when it was a countdown, I don't know what day it was, but I'll tell you right now, 13 effing days away until all the haters and doubters find out who the best team in the NFL is. And we're going to start it off by beating the hell out of the Dallas Cowboys right after we drop that Super Bowl banner on their ass. So follow the media if you want. Doubt this team if you must. But I promise you, just like I did last year, you will be repeating me instead, and you will be the biggest Eagles fan ever. I think they're sleeping on the wrong ones, man. And if they're worried about, this, that, or the other thing, it's just finding something to be negative about. And I understand most people live like that, just live for negativity. But for me, I love the Eagles, man, and I actually want them to be good. I actually am pumped up about them, and if there are issues, I'm actually very confident. I know a lot of people wanted, my head for believing in Howie Roseman the last few years, but I think people are starting to really see what I mean here, with whether it be Howie or anyone, Jeffrey Lurie, Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, just trying to help counteract the media for when they, oh my God, everything's over. I don't follow that narrative. I think you just got to figure it out. And I think Vic will do just that. Let's take a look, man. This is what I have here. You guys can let me know how you feel. I don't know where I would really switch people around here. I think that's kind of just how I see it. The offensive linemen, obviously, versatile pieces can be moved around, but I think your backups should be Lamb, Pryor, Kennard, and I think Kendall's definitely making it, but I think really it becomes Toth and Keegan if you're going to keep 10. And I'm hopeful Pierce can make the practice squad. Kenyon Green, I know you traded, but really that was get rid of CJ, so he doesn't have to make the team. This offense, though, I think I'm going to stick to my guns of pretty much what we've talked about all offseason there. You can see how I have it mapped out. And, also, let me show you the injuries. So, Johnny Wilson's not on there because he's on the IR, and the same will go for Nakobe Dean. When you see the defense, he is on the PUP list, and I will keep these injury lists updated throughout the season as I do the depth charts and, everything else you would ever need to know about the Philadelphia Eagles. I always laugh when people tell me, oh, I didn't know this guy was hurt, or I didn't know that. I'm like, damn, man, that sucks, man. If you ever watch my show, you could be so smart, dude. You would actually know what's going on with the Eagles. So I always guilt trip people yeah, that's cool. You want to watch, the teeny boppers and all the weird shit out there. That's awesome, dude. But if you ever actually want to know what's going on or who's on the team or, just how anything works in general, I'm always here for you. So I always love saying that to people because it's what are you doing? You don't know who's on your team. Who? I don't know. The dude that's been here for a fucking year. It's embarrassing that we get these new fans, but what are you going to do? Just keep dusting them, I guess. But here it is, man. Here's my defense. Let me know how you feel. I know a lot of people were pretty upset with the Ojomo and the Hunt stuff. But again, just like I always say, just maybe wait a couple weeks till the media changes their narrative. I think people will follow what I say. Because you have to remember, it takes the media a little bit to catch up to me. So then the fans, it takes even longer, right? So it's we got to do this waiting thing. And it's I'm asleep. We're trying to, come on. hurt, and people start making hurt season hats and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, and finally waking up like, oh, people are finally cheering for my Birds. Yes. Like, that's my dream, man, just to get people cheering so I don't have to deal with so much stupidity. That's the goal here, man. Counteract all the negative, just moronic stuff I see. I'm going to do my best. But Jihad Campbell, man, that's the starter next to Bond, and that's very exciting. Jacorian Bennett, that's, in my opinion, who it is. Makuba will be there in the future, but yeah, that's how I see that going. And then we've got special teams here, and it's either going to be, one or the other, I think, when it comes to Smith or Williams, but I don't even know if either of them makes it at this point. Smith, I think, will, and you hope that he can take those return spots, both of them, because I don't want to see Coop. Wouldn't mind Will Shipley back there. So if, in my opinion, I think it will be Will Shipley as the kick returner and Anaya Smith as the punt returner. You'll see my updated depth chart when I do my projected 53, how I see it planned. This is just with everybody here. This is all the competition. But that's just how I've been moving things around this training camp, how I see things. And as I told you, I don't know if you've missed it, but Avery Williams and Anaya Smith, I just put one as punt returner, one as kick returner. They both can do both of those things, and both of them are not making the team, but that's just, yeah. So in case you missed it, just wanted to throw that out there. But jump back over here, and we shall see. And Justin Simmons, no thanks. I'm fine, man. I love that we have so many awesome safeties. Like, I love Reed Blanket, Chip Sidney Brown. I think Drew Makuba's future is really bright. Tristan McCollum and Lewis Seen. Like Andre Sam back there as well, what he's been able to do. Maxon Hook was intriguing to watch tonight. But I think, overall, a stud room at safety. Very excited about that. Corner, yeah, you've heard me, John, here. People finally getting on board with Stephon Gilmore. Yeah. You remember a couple months ago when we talked about that, adding a veteran there. I still feel that way. Not against it at all. Hope all is well with you, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. Didn't even know what was happening there. I'm like, wait, is this a super chat? Because I saw the yellow. I'm running on fumes, dude. It was a long week. You guys remember my fantasy draft was Tuesday, and that was the day we had to go to work early. So got up at 4:30, didn't get home or I didn't go to bed till 2:30. So I was up for 22 hours just, and that really made the rest of the week really, really hard. But I'm here for you. You guys always roll up, show up. And my man Drew right now, I know it's about to be 6 a.m. over there. You're true sicko, my friend, and I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate that super chat. Cannot thank you enough for that. Go Birds. Appreciate you tuning in, Lil G. But I am running on those streams, and I am about to get rolling. So anything you guys got, I'm going to give you a couple minutes. My man Drew in here, I know with you all the way across the globe there, I always try to give you a couple. And it's not that I don't want to give all of you all my time. I just, I'm beat. I'm not going to lie to you. And I got to spend a little bit of time with Chelsea here. She is, I've literally not seen her spend any time. It's been a wild week. Get a little uneasy as well. Yeah, on defense side. Let those people get uneasy, man. Just like I told them last week, they'll be the biggest fans of this defense by the end of the year, man. I promise you. They'll be Vic Fangio fans. If they want to sleep on Jalen Carter, Cooper DeJean, and Quinion Mitchell again this year, that's their choice. But for me, I'm going to stick with the facts. This is the best defense in the league, and I'll stick to my guns. And I know a lot of people weren't with me last year when I was saying it all off season, but I think more of you might be with me this year. I think you see what I saw, right? We did win the Super Bowl, right? I think that everything I predicted, and not only, not like one of those douchebags. It's just like, we're going to win, like painted you a picture of how we were going to do it. And it's really fun to be able to come on here every day and, give you top matchups. And I know I don't make shows about, trading for Tyreek Hill or Patrick Mahomes every week. And I don't do what all the other content creators do, but I do try to provide you with valuable information for the game, like all the injury reports, everybody on both teams, their team. You'll get to know behind enemy lines. You'll know your opponent more than most people know our team, that claim to be fans. I want you to be able to watch this show for the week and watch the game and be like, holy shit, that's the guy he's talking about. That's the matchup I should be. Oh, okay, that's why they're taking advantage of here. I want you to actually feel like you gained something afterwards. You know what I mean? I don't want you to just be pissed off. Like, content creators out there. They want your money. They want you to click and be angry and talk about trading for Patrick Mahomes. That stuff's not happening, man. It's weird to me, but I don't know. But my man, Tayfex, yo, dude, we got that win. So hope you're doing well. Appreciate you tuning in. My guy, go effing birds. But as you just heard me say there about Jacorian there and Stephon, that's how I would have it play out. You think the odds are how he makes a move? Can you guys not hear? Did I not? Or maybe I just didn't say anything. I don't know. But yeah, what I was just saying, I think I was just about Jacorian Bennett. We traded for somebody a week ago. If you guys missed that, there's a video on that. You can go check that out. You guys remember a couple years ago, he's one of my top fits in the draft for the Eagles. Really big fan of his game. Hopefully he comes back healthy. So trying to think of what else I was saying there. Bennett and then Gilmore. Obviously, you guys know you've been tuning in. I've been saying that for months. I would still try to add a veteran like him. At this point in the season, though, he's going to have to learn the system too. So I think that's what I said. Sorry if you missed it. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I might have said it. I might not have, because I come into these shows with like things in my head that I think we're going to say. And then I'm done the show. And then I'm like, I don't think I fucking said anything. So bear with me if I didn't. But that's how I feel about this cornerback position playing out. I've said it all off. It's not Ringo. It's not Adoree Jackson. I know I got a lot of heat for that, but I think you're seeing what I mean, right? I'm seeing other people finally concerned about this, which is good, because I thought I was going crazy here. But we did. We made a trade. We got Jacorian Bennett. So I'm hopeful. At the beginning of the video, I said I'm hopeful. I figured you're late, something, whatever. But yeah, man, I might have just forgot what I said, because I do that. So yeah, it's the same way I've been saying for months, though. Trade for someone, they did that, but if you don't feel comfortable, maybe add a veteran. I'm intrigued, man. I think Adoree Jackson is that veteran in their mind. So yeah, this is what we got. We just got to pray Jacorian Bennett's that guy. I think he can be. I think he can. You just got to give him time to learn this defense. That's just it. I will. I definitely will. I'm trying to get Coop on the outside hand here. Vic does not want Coop on the outside. It actually is something he doesn't want to have to do. But unfortunately, nobody wants to step up. And when he starts doing that in practice, what that does is push people's hands. Like, okay, dude. And I've told you, we have Cooper DeJean. He can play outside. He can play inside. He can play safety. He's going to be on the field one way or another. So if the safeties are going to ball out, well, then he's going to take one of your corners jobs, and he'll be the other outside and base package. And dog, I've said it all last year. I don't know why they stick with this base package. Like, we don't run a base package, dude. We run nickel. Like, we are a nickel defense. It's multi-scheme. You can be odd or even. It changes. Go check out the video if you want the breakdown of how it works. It's very intricate. That's why you can't just, it's not Madden. You don't just trade for a player. He knows the defense and everything's fine. Like, he actually has to learn this very, very complicated defense first. So, man, I think, you're never going to take Cooper DeJean away from the nickel spot. That is his. And we talked about that before the draft last year when I was adamant that it had to be Cooper DeJean that we took, was because Vic Fangio is looking for a Cooper DeJean in this defense. That's what you want, man. And that's who we have, and that's what he'll do. But my point is, when he plays safety, it's because he's going to do that because in base package, there is no nickel. So are you telling me you're going to take Cooper DeJean? I'd say, Drew, that's what you want. But all the people complaining, this is a good thing. You want Cooper DeJean on the field, I promise you. Just like when people were saying we shouldn't draft him, he plays too many positions. It's actually a good thing. He's versatile. Don't listen to the media, man. I don't know how they trick people into thinking being good is bad. But if you're a dual threat quarterback, that's on the Eagles, it's a horrible thing. If you're anyone else, especially if you're white, it is a great thing. So really weird reality we live in where like things are true, but they're not true at the same time. And we just all I don't know how to deal with it. I'm old and I don't know this age of misinformation. I know the kids are loving it and love not knowing anything, and everything's fake and it's just, but the fake shit they love. The reality they hate. It's like, all right, dude. All right. Definitely I'm that old, weird, grumpy guy. And yeah, I was talking about that earlier. AJ Smitty, Dotson, Mechie, and I think Anais and Cooper could make it as 5 and 6 just because you lost Johnny Wilson. But I was hoping maybe Cooks gave people a run for their money as a big guy. I don't think he did. I'm hopeful Cooper or Anais Smith ends up on the practice squad, but one of them is definitely probably going to get cut. I don't know if you want to keep both. Maybe they do with the injuries. Maybe they keep both. But yeah, like I said, I think you could keep 6 here. I think you're going to keep 5. Appreciate you tuning in. Wait, you've already been here. See, now you guys all having the same damn logo here. Your phone died. I was wondering what happened there. But I appreciate you. I've been trying to get rolling out here for a minute. Yeah. Yeah, as I was just mentioning there, I love Reed Blankenship, Sidney Brown, Drew Makuba, Tristan McCollum. It's going to be unfortunate, but Scene, Sam, Hook, those guys won't make it. But intrigued to see which ones go to the practice squad. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Cuba Quinion, I like the players and teams, best two receivers. Yeah, I've seen the media try that stuff. No, he's actually a really tough tackler. Really, see, this is why you got to watch what you just follow. You got to actually do the work yourself. So I know the media pushes that narrative. I just wish they would actually know what they're talking about. One of the things I loved about him at Maryland was his toughness, his willingness to tackle. Now, we have to understand is when you get a shoulder injury or you get hurt, sometimes that is going to hinder what you do. Maybe it affects you a little bit mentally, how you play. So, them understanding what's actually happening in life would actually go a long way. So if we're sticking in reality, let's stick with what's actually happening in reality. And that is, them afraid that we're already got our QB2. They need controversy. They need to keep everybody pissed off. And I hate the Eagles. I'm negative. I hate everybody. Being a whiny bitch like these new fans, they think this is this groundbreaking stuff. Let me tell you, I pay hard money to be a douchebag. Like, I go to these games, I'm like, look, you fucking idiots. Like, Gardner Minshew's so much better than Jalen Hurts. And I just remember sitting there for so many years, like, fuck, dude. Like, I don't understand why people thrive off of just being negative. And it's like, I get that you don't know what you're watching, but like, why follow people that are idiots? I don't get it. And I'm not saying you, dude. I'm just saying in general, the stuff that comes out, it's always stupid. Like, it's always off, something they don't really understand. And if they would watch, they could see that Ja'Cory Bennett was one of the better corners in the league when he started for the Raiders last year. That's a shitty ass team, a very lackluster offense. So I just think, this is a kid that has a lot of promise. So let's see what we got first before we're just making shit up and going off of, 2 preseason games when the kid's, only been here for not even 2 weeks, So context matters in reality. So let's remember that stuff before we let the media get this negative train rolling on the Birds. I promise you, if you stick with me and the Eagles, you'll enjoy the Super Bowl back-to-back every single week knowing that it's coming. Just like we did all year last year. We got to celebrate all year. And we'll get to remember that for the rest of our lives, that we believed in this team. While everyone else wanted to trade Jalen Hurts and fire Sirianni. It sucks. Even at Ross Tucker got on my nerves. No doubt. Yo, my man, Dylan, appreciate you tuning in. Hope you are doing well, my friend. But we'll see. Browns and the Jets. No doubt. He's a willing tackler. He's not soft. Yeah, man, that shoulder stuff will get you, man. It definitely will. So again, if you're watching stats or watching, not the game, that stuff's gonna happen. That was actually the Raiders' best quarterback. He actually locked down a lot of people. He's actually really good. And if you guys watched this show, you'll remember a couple years ago, he was one of my top fits. I talked about him, and then right after I talked about Kaylee Ringo. We talk about these kids and we talk about where they need to get to, what they need to develop, what they have to do. And he is a small build. He's going to have to worry about getting hurt. He's going to have to worry, you know what I mean? And that shit happened. And then it affects his tackling. When you get in the NFL, these bigger dudes. So you just got to hope that he's in the right defense with Vic Fangio. He's got Christian Parker as his DB's coach. And you just hope that these guys around him, they're going to teach him, become his friend. And he's going to just feel that energy. And he's going to not listen to all the negativity from the media and fans. And they're going to focus on positive, because we don't want our team to be anything like the fans or the media. We don't want quitters. We don't want them to, as soon as something looks kind of bad, I give up, everything sucks. We want them to be like, nope, let's find the best in it. Let's understand that things take time when you just trade for someone. Like, we are blessed to have a smart team. So let's just hope they keep being smart. Yeah, man, he was real good. He was real good. We just got to wait. We got to be patient with him. Like I told you before this game started. So it is what it is. But, we'll see Nickerson. He's a great vet. Brings some great. I'm hopeful he makes this practice squad, man. But we'll see. See what happens. Center tall quarterbacks. Yeah, you guys saw everything we talked about when we got him. Yep, that's how I still feel. No, I don't mean you, dude. You have to understand that they do this every year. They get people twisted, and I know you're not trying to be. It's just that's what they do, man. They put out these articles, and I see it. Many people in my family and friends are victims. This is why I tell you guys, and I don't run your life. You guys want to watch these shows and listen to other stuff? Hell yeah, man. I just can't, because I like to stick to reality, and I'm not a fan of that stuff, man. So yeah, they can ride with me on the back-to-back building a dynasty train, or hey, they can become fans after we win. Chris, man, and Ringo, yeah, he's really good. And man and stuff. I just think he's got to get healthy, got to get that shoulder right, learn this system. So it is in no way, shape, or form. Yep, that's the guy. I'm praying that's the guy, because it ain't Ringo and it ain't Jackson. And if it is, we're going to pray that Bennett catches up quick and becomes that starter sooner rather than later. Or you trade for one, or you sign Stephon Gilmore like we've been talking about for months here. Still feel that way, which I didn't want to, but I do. You always want to be healthy, Tiffany, every time. I never want to see anyone, especially on the Eagles, get hurt. That is not ever what you want. A lot of people did, man. They came in swinging this offseason. I just wasn't buying it. I needed to see it first, and still have not seen it. And yeah, man, Thomas Booker, we talked about it. Crowded room, he wasn't making the team. You need those younger guys instead. No brainer. So if he works out, he works out. If he doesn't, you go sign or trade someone. Like, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse the last few months, but yeah, I still feel that way. And we did trade for someone, so I'm going to see how that trade goes, because obviously he was one of my top fits a couple years ago. I am a fan of him. I want to see how it works out before I just jump ship. Ringo, Ricks, and Gore. No, I mean, Nickerson looked all right against the fourth stringers, but it's what are they seeing in practice against starters and guys that matter. That's what I talk about when, we could sit here and talk about preseason guys that, should be Hall of Famers, but you got to understand the context of preseason. Again, I'm not saying you guys don't. I'm saying these narratives that get pushed are nuts, but Nickerson is a good one that you bring up there. I was talking to my pop about that, the veteran D-back of the room, right? I just think that it's great, but you could be the D-back in the room on the practice squad. But he's been trying, man, and maybe this is the system. He was with Vic Fangio before, so I think, maybe this year he figures something out. Maybe he could provide some depth. Not against it. We'll see though. But and I know you were big on Ringo. You were pushing that hard to me, and I kept telling you, look, it's not that I'm not rooting for the kid. I haven't seen it yet. And what's funny is if you watch that show from a couple years ago, when I talk about Bennett and I talk about Ringo in the later, like, mid rounds. I don't want him where everyone else wanted him. I don't think he's a safety. I think you could take a shot on him in the later rounds. The kid with that kind of size and talent, why not? If he doesn't work out in a couple of years, it sucks. But at least you only took him in the later round. And that's what happened, man. So we can't get mad. And I talked about Bennett. These guys where you're getting them is important. We didn't draft him, dude. We're signing him, or we traded for him for a guy we weren't even going to have on the team. So you just got to hope. I can't force these players to, do it. So, and we'll see. Well, who knows about practices? Literally all the players and coaches, the ones that matter, not the media or the casual fans that just want to whine about stuff. It's the people that matter, though. And that's what I always try to get across to people, man. That's important that our team knows. Not that our fans don't have any idea. They're never going to have any idea what's going on. And trust me, for years I've been doing this. And just listening to, going back and listening to how much everyone hated Jalen Hurts, Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni, it gave me enough information to understand how lost this fan base was and needed saved. So I know people hate me for it, but I'm glad I put my foot down and forced people to learn how the cap and how football is played and, just basics of things, because it was getting way too much ESP, weird shit out there. I can't do it. Yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see if he figures it out, man. We just got to wait and see. And yeah, but who knows? Maybe he does it against starters. Who you got for the most improved player? Who do you think will make the biggest jump? You guys really not letting me get rolling here, huh? The biggest jump, if you already talked about it, my bad. No, not a problem at all. I don't know, man. Tune in tomorrow. We'll talk about all that stuff. Tyler Steen, Jahan Dotson, Will Shipley will have good years in offense. They will improve. Their roles will mightily improve. Defense, Moro Jomo's going to show people what I've talked about. Jalex Hunt, Nolan Smith, Boucher, and Ojulari. I think that rotation is nasty. And then Sidney Brown. I'm excited to see what he does. So we'll find out. Sorry, man. I got to get going, though, guys. I love you. I know we've been saying it for 20 minutes now, but I got to go. I will see you tomorrow. Projected 53-man roster will be out. We'll be talking about, you guys tell me how you feel, who you think should make the squad. Maybe a Perry Nickerson, maybe someone out of the woodwork. Whatever's on your mind, we're going to talk about it tomorrow. And I know you do, John. You are a true friend. You're awesome. Your support means the world. I love when I, not only can talk birds with you guys, but those of you who feel comfortable, and I don't want you to feel like you have to tell me your personal stuff, but those of you who feel comfortable with that, who reach out, who, have become family to me, not just friends. That means the world, Tiffany and Drew and Liz and all you guys, China. I want to root for you while you guys are doing things in life. And I want to be there for you when you got something going on. That's what this is about. It's just like being an Eagles fan. No matter what, win, lose, or tie, I will bleed green until I die. Just like I will always be there for you guys, as I know you are for me, man. You've been there. You fought with me as we try to get people on this train. And now look at it. Now we're the greatest team in the NFL, and we're going to be the greatest team of all time when we are the first ever three-peating Super Bowl champion dynasty. Go ahead and write that down. All things are possible through Christ. Jot it down. Go Birds! But guys, I love you. I really hope you have a great night. I am running on fumes. I actually really feel like I need to eat something. I'm getting a little blurry here. Duck, my man, appreciate you, dude. And I was, what is it, Duck? Am I saying that? Am I supposed to say Duck or is it Duke? I don't know. I guess it's probably just Duck. See what's happening right now? See what's happening? Sorry, guys. I'm old, cranky. Just need sleep. But, dude, I really look forward to tomorrow. I always love these 53-man rosters because we're always all over the place, and all of you guys have different ideas of what. So we're going to be live tomorrow. We're going to talk about all that. I'm going to bring an updated depth chart with that 53 so you can see. And, hell, we'll even have a projected practice squad. And we'll throw old Gerald Dinkinson III in there, too, the random guy that'll probably get signed on Wednesday. We know that's coming. But, guys, hope you had a great Friday night. Hopefully you enjoyed that last preseason game. What did I just say? Last preseason, 13 days away. Oh, my God. Less than 2 weeks from now, we will be talking pregame show, postgame show about a real game. 13 days away. That's me right there. Nelson Aguilar. That was me. Aha! Let's effing go. But I hope you all have a great Friday night. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope I see you tomorrow for that projected 53-man roster. But until then, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, say it with me now, sickos. Go Earth!